We talking about whatever that's on your mind. Speak your mind, don't be shy. This is your time to shine.
What up, though, people? Welcome to Whatever Talk Gaming. This is a update on Resident Evil 7 for all you Resident Evil fans out there. Before we get into that, have you seen more gameplay?
I'm trying to stay as media blackout as possible, but being a Resident Evil fan, I cannot not look at the stuff. So I did see the latest trailer with the flaming zombie guy or whatever, and
I didn't see that.
Yeah, and there's like a little bit of combat in there. Every little bit of information they drop about Resident Evil 7 is making it look better and better, and in my opinion, it's making it look a little more enticing. So far, I'm still cautiously optimistic, but it's looking better.
I'm still going to be cautiously optimistic, but the Deluxe edition that they have has got me kind of upset that I did not reserve it.
Oh, well, there's still time.
But have you ever played this game called Haunting Ground?
Oh, that's like an old PS2 game.
Yes.
And it's by Capcom too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is.
No, I've seen it, and I know that it's like worth a lot of money now. It's like eBay and Amazon prices are in the $100 for that game right now.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The game itself is there's no combat in it, and you're just running, trying not to get caught. It is a different type of gameplay style, but the story is curious, and that's what kept me interested. But the difference of gameplay and the story kept me interested in the game. It was a good game. I did not like it.
Gotcha.
I will say this: it's not a game that I want to play again, and that's what I'm getting from what I'm seeing from the Resident Evil demo. They got 2 of them out now.
Yeah.
They got and the other demo, it shows even more of that Haunting Ground. That it was a good game. It's just a game that I don't want to go back and play, and that's what's really got me even more cautious to this Resident Evil 7. It's like a modern Haunting Ground, and I'm like, again, good game. I just don't want to play it again. It looks like Capcom is making me play it again with this new Resident Evil.
Yeah, I get the feeling. Okay, I'm not trying to be pessimistic. Again, cautiously optimistic, but I do get the feeling that this is not going to be for me. Now, I hope they change that. You know, I dig the first person horror. That's not the, again, I've said this before, that's not the way I like to play Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And that, you know, the things that I like about Resident Evil kind of require you know, the third person. Like that's...
Oh, yeah. For some reason, I think gamers are brainwashed, or developers may think that playing the game in first person makes you feel like you're that much more into the game itself. Like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's a sucky gameplay style to me. But you know what else I noticed is that it seems like this Resident Evil is straying a whole lot into the cinematic gameplay style of it being like you're playing more of a horror movie than you actually playing the game. And if they do go that route, that it will be very sucky. Because it seems like a lot of the stuff that's happening, at least from what I'm seeing from the demos, is that things that's happening like when it goes pitch black and then whoever chasing you face goes all in your face. It's like it seems like you can't do anything to defend yourself during that moment, because it seems like it's like you're playing a movie. Yep. And I really, really like this right here, Resident Evil. You're bringing the horror back, but you're taking all the other essence out of it. If that's the case, that is like going to make a terrible game for Resident Evil, in my opinion.
Well, you know, I've played the first demo. I've got the newest one downloaded, I think. I'm actually checking right now on the Station 4. I mean, obviously, I'll wait to make a total judgment call until I've beat the game. But again, cautiously optimistic. I don't want to crap on it, but like I see the first person horror movie coming. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a bad thing, but it's again
bad for Resident Evil, because like we said it in our Resident Evil podcast that we previously had. Oh no, my bad. This is coming out before that.
Yeah.
That you guys are gonna get a listen to later on, is that the route that Resident Evil has taken with their games makes us fans extremely cautious for the Resident Evil 7 because of the way they took the game. First person ain't gonna help it, in my opinion, and also making it cinematic is not going to help at all.
The first Resident Evils were fixed camera.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had 3 of them in the core series, 1, 2, and 3, that would stay that way. Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 that were third person over the shoulder. So it kind of is due time to change it based off of the way they've done it in the past. Our Code Veronica is technically part of the main storyline.
Yeah.
It's still technically a spinoff. And then they did some mixture between fixed camera angle and 3D, because there's certain parts of the levels where the camera will follow you and kind of move around a little bit. So you can see they've always experimented and they've always done different things. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
But what they should do, in my opinion, now that we know it can be done, they need to not make it just first person shooter. They need to make it optional, because we know it can be done now. Grand Theft did it, so it proved that you can choose first person or third person all the way through the game. So they need not to do it that way, especially for, again, I look at it as, the loyal fans of Resident Evil. I look at it as like it might not be a hard smack in the face, but they gave you like 2 pity pats to the cheek.
Yeah.
By making it first person only. But the meat of it, of this thing, Capcom, are they not doing it right with this deluxe edition?
Yeah, I really feel like after reading that description, obviously if you pre-order it, you get the day one bonuses, the health, the shotgun shells, all that stuff. But then showing that there's 4 side stories and another episode,
Yes.
So you're talking 5 chunks of DLC
from start.
For ultimately $20. That's pretty good.
They are doing the addition that developers need to take note on. Like, this is how you do it. Despite what I said earlier in this episode, I still feel like, dang, I'm a fan of Resident Evil, but this deluxe edition is doing it right. And we ain't got to worry about multiplayer, because it ain't no multiplayer in it, so this is all story related. And I'm like, day one story related DLC, that is like on point.
Yeah, I'm excited. I hope that they
$80.
I hope that they I know that's especially in a day we just spent the past 2 years, and every game that's come out with big DLC has been $50 DLCs. So for this one to be $20 and already have, what seems like a sizable amount of content.
Yes.
I hope that they release a steelbook edition with it, though, or some sort of collector's edition with a statue, something snazzy, because every time Resident Evil comes out, I've got the specialist of special editions, from the from the consoles to chainsaw controllers, everything.
Well, that has got to be a new type of addition to a video game. He is the specialist of special editions.
That's right. So I'm looking right now across my room. I've got the Resident Evil 5 Xbox 360 Elite console that I pre-ordered and purchased back when Outbreak came out. I think it was the first Outbreak. The special edition came with like a little water bottle. It's got like a biohazard label on the side of it.
You might not want to drink out of that.
No, I might turn into a zombie. When they announced the deluxe edition, I didn't even have to read it. I was like, yeah, I'm buying that. Yeah. And then I usually buy whatever hardback special edition strategy guides they release as well.
I haven't bought a special edition game in such a long time, because none of them really interest me. Like, if it doesn't come with things like this, story related stuff, DLC, then I'm most likely not going to get it. Or it has to have like a real great figurine that comes with it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't have that and or the story related DLC, I'm not going to think about getting it at all. I'm going to close it out with that, because I don't want, it's not like a huge episode. I just want to give like an update and give a little bit more insight on our feelings on this new Resident Evil game. And yeah, again, this deluxe edition, the special edition game, this is like, again, developers, take freaking notes, because this is what you do when you add DLC. Not a freaking season pass, DLC that you get right then and there, and it's story related.
Yep, I'll take that.
This is how you do it, developers. Take notes from Capcom. Finally did it right, and they know how to count past 3. They made it up to 7. Use Street Fighter. They got Street Fighter Alpha Omega Super Supreme Edition Part 2. And and that's the 3rd edition for that. It took forever to get through Street Fighter 3. Let's close out. Thanks again, Darrell, because you are problem. Resident Darrell. You are my go-to Resident Evil guy. Again, anybody can join in on this stuff. It's just that he's the first one I go to, because he is, like, the Resident Evil guy. And, also he's my vice president, so he has to follow me everywhere I go.
That's right. That's right.
So thanks again, Darrell, for coming out. Go check out his podcast, Remember the Loot, Mondays, ProvenGamer.com, and check out these special editions of Whatever Talk on YouTube. And we also back at home with our parents at Podomatic.com. So until the next episode, whatever.
If you would have made it this far, but then you made it to the end of the show, you can stay posted, but we gotta go. But wait a minute, leave a comment, tell us what you think about it. Come again, tell a friend, tell whoever listening. Whatever talk.